Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm ScrapMan, bringing you another episode of Trailmakers, and today we're going to be trying to replicate something along the lines of a V-22 Osprey. Now, believe it or not, I've actually tried this in Trailmakers before, but it was over a year and a half ago, back when Trailmakers was pre-early access. I don't know if it was alpha or beta at that point, but things didn't work quite the way that they do now, so I figured we'd give it another go and see if we can do things better. And also, my understanding of how Trailmakers physics works is much better than it was back then. That's what we're going to try to do in this episode. If you have any ideas for future episodes, leave them in the comments down below, because this also came from the comments. I've seen a couple of people been posting V-22 Osprey in the past couple of videos, so thanks for your suggestion. I thought that was a good idea to revisit this, and we'll see how it goes this time. And if you guys haven't seen the old one from a year and a half ago, just type in ScrapMan V-22 Osprey or ScrapMan Osprey, and I'm sure it'll show up. And that was an old video. I was in a different office back then with a different microphone and everything. You know what? Don't go watch that video. We don't need to see that. Anyway, so there's a couple of challenges I see with the V-22 Osprey. And in case you don't know what it is yet, it's a helicopter that kind of acts as both a plane and a helicopter. It's got two rotors on the side of it that can lift it up vertically, but they can also turn forward and have it go forward like a plane. The issue I see with Trailmakers is I don't know how the rotating servo here, because I'm going to use the rotating servo in order to rotate the propellers. But if I have two separate rotating servos, are they going to turn at the same rate reliably, or is it possible that they'll get off kilter with each other and then we might have different turning degrees on each propeller, which is just going to mess us up in the air? But I guess we're going to have to find out when we get there. First, let's just try to build a basic body design of the Osprey. I think this seat is going to look the best according to some of the pictures I have. All right, well, it's time to start this thing. I'll see you on the other side. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The design aspect of the V-22 Osprey appears to be finished for the most part. I mean, there's some things about it that I'm not too sure. Ideally, what I was trying to go for was more legitimate controls. So I have wing flaps like on the backs of the wings and the tail wing here in hopes that I'll get roll and pitch. I wasn't really able to put yaw in without it looking weird. So I do have a helicopter servo in the middle here that's hopefully going to give me some yaw. I don't know. I feel like this thing's going to be way too heavy. Like, for these 2 propellers alone, I really think it's going to be way too heavy, but we're going to find out. I've also given it some wheels. We should... Oh, I didn't consider that. Oh, and those are way too fast. All right, so now this thing should... All right, that's looking pretty good there. Oh, no, it's not yet. I forgot that my tail fin is also set to those, which isn't good. All right, so I need something else. There's so many controls I have to keep track of now. All right, I think I got the controls mapped out in a way that makes sense now. All right, so I should be able to go... Why is that backward? Are all my wheels backwards? What is going on here? Oh, all my wheels are backwards. This makes more sense now. Okay, now the controls should make sense. Please make sense. All right, so we're able to go across the ground. We can turn on the ground as well. All right, my roll is clearly not set up correct. They should be going opposite each other, not the same as each other. Why is everything so wrong? Okay, now the controls should be going. Okay, good. Okay, good. Good. All right, now the question is, the big question. Oh, wait, and then forward. Why are they... I'm not pressing the spin button. Okay. Backwards. All right, so now the question is, do we have enough lift to get ourselves off the ground in VTOL mode here? Let's aim upwards and go. Oh, they're not even spinning in opposite directions. Oh, this is such a failure so far. Okay, now they are spinning in opposite directions. There's so many things to keep track of, and I kept track of none of it. None of it. I only went for looks. All right, clearly these need to spin faster. That is just nothing. They're at 1 speed right now. We have to put it up to, you know, we have to put it up to 10 speed. Let's see if this works. If this doesn't work, then all of this was for nothing. Why is this happening? Okay, I do have a backup plan. My backup plan is, so a normal V-22 Osprey doesn't use just pure propellers. It uses turboprops. So they technically have a turbine engine going on inside this big area. So I'm going to kind of cheat and use a jet engine in combination with the propellers to kind of simulate the greater power of a turboprop than just a straight up prop. And hopefully that'll give us something usable. So fortunately, we can just fit these jets right on in there. And that is actually kind of by design. I figured that this might be what needs to happen. But if this isn't enough thrust, if this doesn't give us enough lift, and we're gonna have some issues. Okay. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. Please, V-22 Osprey. Work. All right, that's something. That is something. Oh, we broke something. All right, we have liftoff. Now the issue is weight distribution, which we can do. We have weights, but then we are making it heavier if we do that. All right, hold on. What if we just go forward a little bit? Come on, just... All right, no. Oh. It's a weight issue right now. We can do this, though. Please tell me we can do this. All right, so the whole thing is 491 kilograms. So I'm going to take a 50 kilogram weight and put it right... I'm going to take 2 of them. I'm going to take 2 50 kilogram weights. And add 100 kilograms right there. Now, a couple of things could happen here. This could fix our problem with our weight distribution, or it'll make us too heavy to lift off, or none of the above and something even worse. All right, here we go. It's so close. We're so close to having liftoff. Oh, man. Oh, wait. What if... No, that's not going to work. Wait, can we double up propellers like this? They're not going to be attached, though. How do we then attach... We can't attach that propeller to the one below it. That's not going to work. All right, I need to take a look in here. We need to do some more What if we do double thrusters? Double thrusters can work. This can work. Maybe. All right, move that down, and then we can fill in the top of this like that to attach everything back, and then put this back in, and I think we have doubled our thrust. Now let's just do the same thing to the other side. I feel like an airplane mechanic right now, just like taking apart the engine and then just like moving stuff around and stuff and things. All right, there we go. We put it back together. Now please give us enough thrust and an okay weight distribution. All right, we're gonna go to a better spot to take off. This should have more open space. Here we go. All right, moment of truth. Go. No. It looks so good. Like, this thing looks so good. But it's not the weight distribution isn't working for us right now. What if we put a little bit more in the front? Another 100. Another 100. Is that going to cancel out the force of the thrust that we added? It does. Oh, it totally does. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We got something. Oh, no. Oh, no. Please pitch back. We got something. It's just kind of working. I mean, VTOL mode doesn't really work very well. That is definitely the case, that VTOL mode is not the most... Actually, this whole thing doesn't work very well now that I'm looking at it. All right, I'm trying to use... There we go. There we go. There we go. We're in a stable flight now. This is awesome. It's kind of working. Can we, like, glide, though? Oh, no, this is... Oh. We're stabilizing. I can't believe I just saved that nosedive. All right, what about like rotate? Oh, those wing flaps, they're doing nothing. They're doing pretty much nothing. Wing flaps are useless. All right, so because the wing flaps aren't working, we're gonna go to our next best option, which might actually fix a lot of our issues. Is we're going to get rid of the wing flaps entirely, and we're going to use our helicopter servo reaction wheel method, because that's just the easiest thing to do when it comes to tilt and pitch and roll. And it'll also take a little bit of weight off of certain areas too, so that'll be helpful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have put the alternate controls in, so now I have, you can see I got my roll here, I got my pitch and stuff, and I even got some yaw. And that should help us out a lot with control, and that way our wings and stuff don't really have to worry about that, because that's just really hard to do efficiently in Trailmakers with something like this. We just keep having to add like more and more wing surfaces, but then we're going to lose the design of it. So for the sake of keeping it looking like an Osprey, we're going to have it not function as much like one. But anyway, here we go. Vertical takeoff. Actually, the weight there was much better. But now we're doing weird things. Now we're doing kind of weird... All right, I'm trying to counteract whatever's happening here. Are the propellers at different... They shouldn't be at different speeds. I used both of them at the same time. But we want to keep turning to the right, and I don't know why that is. I'm pretty sure everything is symmetrical. Why are we turning to the right here? All right, so the vertical takeoff is tolerable. It's working, but it's not ideal. So now let's see if we can get ourselves some forward momentum. So now instead of like a helicopter or like a VTOL style thing where you would have to tilt forward in order to go forward, for this, we should just be able to tilt our rotors forward. There we go, and now we are going forward. However, with the rotors tilted forward like this, the center of thrust is way above our center of mass, and it really wants to tilt our nose down, and I am actively counteracting that right now. I don't know, I'm looking at like the normal Osprey. How does it actually counteract that? That's kind of interesting. Maybe, I mean, they probably have some things going on with like their flaps and stuff as well, but let's see, can we actually land ourselves down here? All right, that was pretty good. That wasn't bad at all, actually. I'm pretty impressed so far. All right, one thing I'm tempted to do, for the sake of making this thing feel better, I'm going to put some, what do you call them? Gimbals in the front here, like just in front of the wings. So the gimbals will be right here. So they're not gonna be something that you see, but they should be having an effect of adding a little bit more lift to the front, which hopefully should help us I don't know, stabilize ourselves out a little bit in the air. We'll see what kind of effect it has. All right, there we go. We got 2 gimbals in the front there. I'm just gonna have them go on at the same time as everything else just to see what kind of effect it has. All right, here we go. Okay, so now there's an issue. That's an issue there. But now when we're going forward, okay, this is just bad. This is just not good. Okay, all right, this is feeling... I mean, when we're going more forward, it feels so much better, to be honest. Like, this is looking okay. I mean, it's still, even with the gimbals there, my nose still tilts down because of my center of thrust. So that's kind of interesting. So the gimbals, they really aren't... Oh, what the happened? I lost all my pitch control. They really aren't that big of a deal. I don't think I like them, actually, because it makes taking off way harder. All right, so now let's actually color this thing. There we go. Look at that creative coloring. I mean, Ospreys are pretty much just gray. So there you have it. Actually, you know what? I think I like this color of gray a little bit better. It's kind of like an off gray with like a bluish hue to it. Let's go with that color. Okay, so we have our design here. I think this is the design that I'm gonna settle with. It's really not easy to fly, but we're gonna put it to the test now. Now is time to actually fly this thing around and see what we can do with it. I'm pretty happy with the takeoff, to be honest. Like, the takeoff feels pretty nice. Requires minimal adjustment. What really requires a lot of adjustment is forward mode, because like that really wants to just put me down. Really wants to put me down into the ground. I can hardly even lift off. Ugh. All right, I figured out a problem with my tilt. Having these servos inside, they were almost touching each other. They were starting to cancel out what they were doing. So they would spin and then they would just stop spinning altogether. And I think that was because they were pretty much like nose to nose against each other. So I'm thinking that the way I have it on the outside, it sacrifices a little bit of the aesthetic of it. But I think we should have a more reliable pitch. We should be able to maintain our counterbalance for our tilt or our pitch here. All right, it is difficult to do though, but hey, it's working kind of. I can pretend like we have a stable flight, because one thing that we don't have in Trailmakers that real helicopters have, which would be extremely difficult to do actually, is they have like a cyclical rotation of their propellers. So as the propellers are going around, they can actually provide more force to one side of the propeller versus the other side as that rotor, as that particular blade passes any certain position. So we don't have that ability. So whereas a real Osprey would be able to actively counteract all of that using the propeller angles, we can't do that. So we gotta cheat and use our helicopter servos. Oh, there goes our, oh. That was fun. That's a good way to crash. Let's do that. Let's do that on purpose. Kind of similar to what I tried to do with the TIE fighter in the last episode. I wanted to take off one wing. This time, let's fly into something and take off just one of these engines on purpose. But first, let's try to fly through the tunnel. Let's see if we can actually fly through the tunnel. I don't know what to expect here. All right, I know what to expect now. Clearly, this is not going to be working out very well. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, we just did it. We pulled that off. I cannot believe that just happened. All right, what about that one way up there? Can we even get up there? Here, let's go into more vertical mode. This is easy. This is much nicer. The more forward I put the propellers, the less stable we are. The more we have to counteract the forces. All right, there we go. Going right through here, no problem. All right, this is actually starting to pass the tests. This is starting to pass the tests, but now we need the test of actually crashing. We need to take off one of these propellers. I'm going to try to hit the ring. I'm going to try to slam one of my propellers right into the edge of that ring of fire. And I'm hoping that it'll just be chaos from there. The best crash landing we've ever done. All right. All right, come on. We can do it this time. We can do it this time. We can do it this time. That's looking good. Yes! Oh. It was so perfect. It just takes off the entire wing. Oh, and sends us spiraling into doom. Okay, so now we need to do a good landing test. Let's see if we can actually... This is a vertical takeoff and landing. So we've been taking off vertically. Now let's actually land vertically. All right, here we go. We're going to head over to the starting area. We're going to take off vertically from here and see if we can go in that direction. All right. Oh, that was a good takeoff. We actually took off evenly that time. Oh, this thing, like, this is starting to look kind of legit. And then, like, whoops. And, like, we got this going on. And that, like, even though I have to counteract a lot of force here, if I can make it look like I'm not trying too hard, it looks like a pretty legit Osprey, in my opinion. So I think this is actually mildly successful. Okay, so now the landing, though. The landing is going to be the true test. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Don't hit. That was actually pretty cool because the thrusters didn't explode, but just the props did. And you can see how it actually affected things without the props. Now let's try this again. All right, there we go. Yeah, I like this thing. This thing looks way, way better. So much better than the previous one. And I just realized we're not having the issue, I don't think, with our props getting misaligned with the rotating servo. So that's good. Okay. All right, we made it through the valley better this time. All right, now let's try to land, like just in between all of these ramps. All right, we're gonna go more vertical now. There we go. All right, coming in for the nice, gentle landing. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I wasn't able to slow down as much as I wanted to, but I feel like that actually worked pretty well. Well, let's see if we can try this again. Just coming down nice and slow. There's a lot of weight, a lot of mass to counteract if I let myself fall too quick. That was better. That was better. All right. What happens if I try to take off like this? Oh, this is not going to work. I can't believe I'm not dead yet. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and fly off into the horizon here. I was gonna say sunset, but the sun is not setting at all. So let me know what you guys thought of this V-22 Osprey. I think it looks pretty good. The function, there's stuff to be desired, but is there anything that you could think of that I could have done differently to make this function more like a real one? We tried to use the wings as our pitch and roll. That didn't really work out very well. We don't really have a lot of good ways to counteract our center of thrust here. But if you have any ideas, let me know down in the comments, and I'll be happy to read those, and especially looking for suggestions for what else you'd like to see me make in Trailmakers and experiment with. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.